Welcome and thanks for joining us. My guest today is Joe Sangiuliano, the Regional Vice President for Public Sector and Prisma Cloud at Palo Alto Networks. Hey, Joe, thanks for joining the program.
Thank you, Justin. Great to be here.
And so obviously we are here at the Cloud Exchange talking about how agencies in the civilian sector are adopting cloud services, different challenges they're encountering. And of course, security is such a big part of this conversation as we're talking about IT modernization and doing cool things with the cloud at the same time. It still has to be secure. What kind of challenges are you seeing, at agencies in the public sector with your customers when it comes to cloud security?
Yeah, thanks, Justin. Great question. Federal customers face unique challenges for cloud security. First and foremost, what we learned and what we see, it starts with visibility and control. Our federal organizations specifically, they need comprehensive visibility and control, not just over infrastructure, but applications and data. So our customers need to have the ability to monitor, audit, and manage resources effectively. That typically is where we start. And then, of course, especially with cloud native applications, we go right into compliance and regulatory requirements. Civilian DoD, IC are subject to strict regulations and frameworks, FedRAMP moderate, FedRAMP high, impact level 4, 5, and 6. Meeting these requirements are difficult and can be complex. And then another area that we go into for challenges, of course, is threat detection and prevention. Cybersecurity threats are a constant concern for our customers. Robust capabilities to detect and prevent and respond to these threats and malware and other cyber attacks are desperately needed. And of course, data protection. This is sensitive data. Federal organizations deal with large amounts of sensitive data, such as PII, classified documents, proprietary data. Ensuring confidentiality, integrity, or availability of this data is paramount. That's why we at Palo Alto with Prisma Cloud, we have developed a platform approach to help our customers take advantage of a holistic way to look at the cloud security concerns. And you may hear of these different capabilities that are necessary for our customers and are recommended by agencies like CISA or OMB or others. And of course, that starts with cloud security posture management. It's been around for a while. It's where customers typically start, but this is how our customers can identify misconfigurations and compliance violations, security risks. It shows the overall security posture. And then our customers are also looking into cloud workload protection. And this is a feature that does runtime defense and threat protection for the workload itself. When I'm talking about workloads, I'm talking about containers, serverless, APIs, VMs. We have to be able to protect against malware and exploits for monitoring the behavior of these applications that run in the cloud. It's very important today. Also, customers are struggling with, and we need to help them out with cloud network security. And this is the network security controls for cloud environments. And that helps enforce security policies consistently. And also there's deep visibility into cloud environments through cloud security analytics. So a lot of acronyms, but the reality is our customers have a lot to think about, and the challenges and the complexities of that within the comprehensive approach to cloud security. So we tend to approach that from a holistic view, looking at customers from a platform approach instead of one specific tool set versus another.
Got it. That's a great overview of the challenges and some of the things that agencies are facing as they continue to adopt different cloud services and infrastructures. You mentioned a lot of different best practices in there when it comes to just configuring your cloud services correctly, to workload protections, network security controls, and security policies. Are there any other best practices or anything you'd like to reinforce when it comes to helping organizations just maintain security as they perhaps start the journey or continue the journey of implementing cloud services across their different applications?
First and foremost, what we've learning and what we've been working with our customers on is more of a proactive approach to cloud security specifically. And what do the CSPs do versus what you can come to a pure security player like Palo Alto Networks? And it begins with this conversation of shift left, and the shift left conversation, especially when you get into cloud application, workload protection, et cetera, you have to start taking a look at how you're building applications, because we're depending on so many different open source registries, touching many different attack vectors that we didn't have before, that when dealing with an on-prem solution or on-prem development. So what we're working with customers on is protecting not just invisibility and compliance, really starting to look proactively into how to secure during the code phase, during the build phase of what we're doing in cloud native application development, which is coming into a new concept, fairly new concept that Gartner has coined, which is the CNAPP conversation, which is cloud native application protection platforms. So we are the top cloud native application protection platform company. We provide a holistic view of cloud security. And that's where we try to help customers with, is like, think about security first. Think about the complexities of it, and not just pointing one tool set versus another tool set, but holistic support will give you better security posture, save money, and also have better security, like I said, but and operational considerations when you think about the multiple tool sets. And in our research and working with customers, they're averaging between 6 and 10 different tool sets just in cloud security. I think cloud security is becoming a converged platform, is going to continue to converge, and that's what CNAPP is doing as that capability continues to mature. And we have that. So to answer the question, I hope that answers. It's we're working more proactively with customers and holistically with customers to think about security, not just as a problem happens or a misconfiguration or multiple alerts, but how do we get ahead of cloud security? And specifically when we start talking about automation and DevSecOps, that's where some of the complexities really start to rise. And then also more complexity when we consider the reality of multi-cloud and the reality of hybrid cloud. Because each hybrid cloud or multi-cloud, each cloud has their own specific tool sets if you went natively with them to manage those cloud environments. So we take the approach of, why not have an abstracted layer of security support that works ubiquitously across all cloud platforms? And that therefore you have a single dashboard. Therefore you have better security. Therefore you have a better management approach.
Got it. Yeah, we're going to talk about some of that complexity with multi-cloud, with hybrid. I'm glad you brought up DevSecOps, because when you said shift left, that's immediately where my mind went when it comes to looking at the security of applications, of software. And that kind of brings in a conversation that doesn't start with the word cloud, but is very much intertwined with it. Software, supply chain security, that's something that agencies are very much concerned about as well right now. They're going to have to start collecting these attestation forms from vendors to, ensure that software has been developed securely before they put it on their networks. What are you seeing from kind of your customers and the folks you talk to at agencies in terms of, their challenges around just the application security element of what they're buying or using as a service or what have you?
Well, the first thing that we typically hear from customers when we're having the conversation of a abstracted security protection or a platform is, well, we go to the CSPs first. I've got FedRAMP High, I've got IL5. We typically have to go back and just remind them of the shared responsibility model that DISA coined and published back in 2018, really, and describing how our customers are responsible for the data, not the security of the cloud, but the data in the cloud. So we tend to start there. We tend to work with specifically with customers to talk about getting started with visibility and compliance. And we spend a lot of time talking about the cloud journey as well. Like, where are you in your cloud journey? Or if you lifted and shifted applications, and meaning, are you moving mostly into an IaaS environment, infrastructure as a service environment in cloud? If you're in an IaaS environment, typically your application development is not done in the cloud. It's done still on-prem. Not a lot of conversation to have if it's not touching the cloud, if you're not going to a GitHub, if you're not if you're not using, a lot of enhanced platform as a service or software as a service type applications. So it all depends on where customers are on their cloud journey. And then we spend time helping them understand this is what we believe based on our experience working with customers who are in different parts of that journey. Where do you want to start? And instead of looking at it reactively, let's look at it proactively, because you're going to most likely get there. The cloud continues to innovate. There's so much innovation. There's so much reason to move to cloud, and the application and the speed of which you can move applications into development because of the use of cloud native is only going to continue. So as customers are on that journey, we try to help them understand what's makes the most sense depending on where they are. And it could be customers, and we see a huge dichotomy to where federal customers are today, based on legacy, based on technical debt, based on a lot of different things. So it's on the vendors, it's on industry to help really provide the best consultative approach based on where customers are in that transformational journey, in that DevSecOps journey. And it could be on-prem and it could be within the cloud. And today we see, again, such a huge dichotomy to where those customers are. So we spend a lot of time just making sure we understand what workloads are in the cloud, what challenges are you having visibility in compliance, in alerts, in attack vectors, whatever it might be. Misconfigurations happen. Do they really have the need to continuously develop and continuously integrate? That's where we spend time there first, a lot of time in discovery.
Got it. All right, some great considerations there. And I think you touched on sort of how there's this shared responsibility model. Many of the cloud service providers offer an element of security within their offerings. We know that, but can you kind of break down for us, what does that typically cover? And then what do customers still have to address that perhaps the CSP's offering does not cover?
Yeah, great question, Justin. The CSPs are responsible for security of the cloud, the infrastructure, the network, the storage. Customers are responsible for the data. They're responsible for everything that runs in the cloud. And CSPs provide some level of security controls natively. Of course, they have FedRAMP High, they have IL5, IL4, whatever the certification might be. And what we do within Prisma Cloud, we go on basic offerings and we provide comprehensive support for the data in the specialized cloud security platforms. Most CSPs are lacking in the implementation and delivery of continuous cloud visibility. And that really is the pivotal step in making cloud security and compliance easier, eliminating blind spots, and et cetera. Most organizations start with discovering cloud assets, as we talked about before, misconfigurations, vulnerabilities. So we differentiate truly by having this abstracted layer that exists regardless of hybrid cloud, multi-cloud. When I say hybrid, that's on-prem plus a public cloud provider. When I say multi is multiple public clouds. And we're seeing today multiple customers having many clouds, not just one cloud. They're in multiple clouds. That includes Amazon, that includes Microsoft, that includes Google, IBM, Oracle. They continue to have more clouds that they could take advantage of. So this abstracted layer is a really good, unique differentiator for a pure security player to help have consistency and a single dashboard to manage across all those security that you will need in every single one of those clouds. So that leads to continuous security and compliance monitoring, because compliance gets extremely complex when you have all these different clouds, different vulnerabilities, different compliance posture. So we help, one of the most common problems we have in cloud is misconfigurations. It's so easy because of the ephemeral nature of cloud workloads. They continuous integration, continuous delivery. You can misconfigure once and multiplies itself out over time. So being able to notice that across multiple clouds is a real challenge. We help that as well. We also differentiate in threat detection and response. So we incorporate advanced threat detection through like machine learning capabilities to detect and respond to cloud specific threats. We leverage behavioral analytics. So we put some AI against it as well to be able to really help analyze the alerts, because what we're seeing a lot of the customers have today is alert fatigue. because say they do have threat detection, say they do have vulnerability detection, all our customers are seeing is 1,000 different alerts go up. How do you prioritize that? How do you know which are the critical threats? How do you know what to act upon? So we help out with there as well and differentiate there as well. And then our security posture management, I think, is a feather in our cap as well. You know, this enables organizations to manage the overall security posture, which is different from when we talk about workload protection or the other intricacies of what we do with cloud security. And then, you know, if you think again, you wrap it together with this comprehensive security control, and that's just the wide range of security controls and capabilities for network security, identity, access management, data protection, vulnerability management, compliance, and automation. All these features I feel are differentiators and what are offered cloud natively via the CSPs, because this is all we do. This is all we do, and this is what we're very passionate about delivering for our customers.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple times, you know, the considerations when it comes to multi-cloud environments, hybrid cloud environments with a mix of cloud and on-prem. I think we're hearing from agencies during this conference that, you know, not everything is going to necessarily move to the cloud. There is going to be a hybrid approach for the foreseeable future. Anything else that you think is particularly important from a security consideration, though, as you're thinking about that perhaps more complex environment? We just have this mix of environments, on-prem, cloud, and different infrastructures within the cloud.
Yeah, it's a real challenge for our customers. There is on average, I believe, 60 to 100 tools that our customers are using, and dashboards and tool sets that they're using for holistic security. When you think about edge or SOC security, also considering cloud security. So it's an untenable situation when you have all these different tools. And I believe we are entering into a phase where more consolidation and tools or technologies like AI and ML are really going to help our customers get their hands around a better security posture holistically. And there is a reality, like you said, our customers are dealing with a hybrid reality. They're going to have X amount of applications in SaaS. They're going to software as a service. Makes more sense. They're going to look at platform as a service and take advantage of those capabilities. And there's also going to be considerable amounts of infrastructure as a service or lift and shift, because don't want to refactor those applications. There is a massive undertaking on the refactoring of applications to move to a container or a Kubernetes workload to be able to take advantage of cloud. That is not easy. So our customers are dealing with that reality, like you said, to move to hybrid. It's a hybrid multi-cloud world, which enters in a real challenge to have a very holistic and secure posture for cybersecurity. So it's going to continue to be a challenge. And I think in industry, we have to come together. And one of the things I'm excited about of what we offer is this platform approach. The platform approach, just in IaaS and PaaS security, what we provide at Prisma Cloud really helps customers with about 14 separate attack vectors that they really, and considerations for vulnerabilities that they have to look at, which would be 6 to 10 separate point product tool sets. Again, back to the CNAPP conversation. So it's going to continue to happen for our customers, where they're going to have X amount of percentage in cloud, X amount of percentage on-prem. How do we provide security holistically? And I believe agencies or companies like ours will have that kind of conversation, that capability to solve that with our customers.
Got it. All right. Well, in the time we have left, I'm just wondering, are there any emerging trends, emerging threats, things that you're watching here going forward that you think is particularly important when we're talking about, you know, public sector, IT modernization, the cloud, and doing it securely?
You know, I think the big thing I want to leave with is just the conversation to think about. Cloud is going to continue to proliferate. It makes a lot of sense for our customers, just from a pure standpoint of operational efficiency, saving on compute, network, and storage. And now the marketplace that's available for customers to have pre-baked solutions to solve mission critical problems is just amazing. So, we have to start looking at security in the same way. I think that security, specifically in cloud, has been too piecemealed apart with different tool sets and different point products. And it's not anyone's fault. It's just how it's developed over time. But now things have matured. Convergence is always a great advantage for our customers. Convergence is happening. A platform approach is happening. A single dashboard is available. You will save money. Our agencies will save money. They'll improve their security posture, and also save on operational costs. Get rid of the technical debt that we have. There's not enough security professionals to handle what we have. Everyone knows that. And so I think it's a big challenge. You're going to see continual attack vectors. Our enemies are getting smarter, and they continue to be smarter. So, I believe, that's where things are going to continue to go. You will see this proliferation of CNAPP, that CNAPP story, just specifically in the cloud security conversation, the cloud native application protection platform. We have to be in every cloud and secure every cloud that our customers want to be in and have to be in. So we will be there and we will support them.
And so just on, zero trust, I think we're hearing a lot about how agencies are, perhaps struggling to integrate all the different aspects of a zero trust architecture, the pillars, the capabilities within those pillars, the different tool sets, as you've mentioned. What are, some important things that, agencies and industry can do to help solve that challenge in the years ahead?
Yeah, always top of mind, zero trust. What we're talking to customers about too, it comes down to me for two things. It's one, we have to be cognizant of what the investment and the capability is today that our customers are dealing with. I don't think it's effective to come in and rip and replace everything. I think there is a possibility to integrate in zero trust, and that integration discussion has to involve our FSI partners, our consulting partners, management partners. We have to be able to come together and understand best of breed capability based on where that agency may be in the zero trust conversation, because they have multiple tool sets in place today, processes in place today, and then work with them on an integration path to get to zero trust. Many times customers have come to me and said, via your portfolio itself, I see a zero trust prescription. And they're not wrong. We have that today. To be able to move to that is a challenge, because it is a big challenge. But can it happen? Absolutely. But I think the best practice is to work very closely with customers, with integration partners, and come together with a best of breed solution set based on best practices, based on whatever policies may be in place, what tool sets may be in place to help the customers get there in a very effective way. But it's there. I mean, there is a capability today to provide a zero trust prescription. Absolutely.
All right, great. That's a good note to end it on. Again, I'd like to thank today's guest, Joe Sangiuliano, the Regional Vice President for Public Sector and Prisma Cloud at Palo Alto Networks. Joe, thanks so much.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. I appreciate it.
I'm your moderator, Justin Doubleday, and you're watching Federal News Network. Now let me send you back to the studio for more on the Cloud Exchange.